do I set you up? Good morning. Is this a bit too low actually? Maybe it's a bit low. Okay, but I'm currently balancing on a piggy bank and my hair bubble box. Good morning. I wanted to talk about some of the struggles that I'm feeling as a aspiring artist because I felt a bit of it today. I think it'll be good to make a video about it because I know a lot of people probably feel the same way. And yeah, so let's talk about it. I started feeling it a lot the last few days, the first kind of struggle that I'm feeling. So for the people that don't know, I'm an aspiring low poly artist. I make art pieces like this and I would love to make this my full-time job, but also to be able to collaborate with a lot of amazing people and other creatives and collaborate with musicians and big brands and other artists and stuff like that and create like a really big sense of community and be able to do this as like my full-time job. That's my biggest dream. And what I've been feeling a lot lately, this week I've been taking a lot of inspiration from musicians. Like, I've been taking a lot of inspiration this week from Fred again and Tate McRae. Because I feel like just the kind of, well, firstly, just the guy himself seems like the absolute sweetest guy ever. Like, I would adore to be his friend because he just seems like such a bundle of positive energy. But the type of music that he creates is like, just brings things so like to such a raw level that like, I don't even know how to describe it, you just feel it on a different level, like, oh, he's absolutely amazing. And then Tate McRae, for her sort of like process of getting to the like musical point that she's at and her sort of like discipline through it, but also just seeing how much she loves what she does, even when it's like really scary and intimidating, you know, to be such a pop star, to still be able to adore what you love. Because I think it gave me a lot of hope, because I always had like a subconscious dream of becoming a pop star and a musician and, you know, to perform, but then obviously you kind of find out that it's like, oh, it's not as glamorous as it seems. And I think I just got put in that mindset that it's like, no, you don't want to become that because it's miserable and draining and it's not at all what it seems. But like to see from like Tate McRae, I know there's obviously a lot more that I don't know about, but like seeing from her that it's just like, no, I actually love what I do. I literally wouldn't do anything else, and I'm surrounded by such great people and my fans are so supportive and so sweet and stuff, you know. The only enemy is like the media, but like, you know, you learn to deal with it, and it was really inspiring. And I just feel like so, yeah, just so inspired by like the greatness of people and like surrounding their life by something that they absolutely adore and that other people adore too. It was great, and I like just love watching their interviews and stuff like that, and it's really cool, and I feel really inspired. But then I also get these like weird blips where like it's hard, how do I even phrase it, like it's hard to sometimes like not see your inspiration as competition. And obviously with Fred again and Tate McRae, obviously they're in a completely different field, like they do music, I do art, but there is a part of me that is like, one, that I'm doing the wrong thing, or like it's more that I'm just like jealous that it's just like for such like passion and genius and stuff like that I really wish I had, and that I could have that effect on people. I think it's more of that aspect, not even like what I create, but the effect that it has on people. Like I want to provide that for people, like particularly with Fred again. Like I feel like it, like the thing that he creates has such a deep rooted effect on people that is like so extremely inspiring to look at, but it's also like I'm so jealous because that's what I want to have, like that's what I want to create for others. And I feel a bit intimidated that it's like, yeah, that subconscious thing of like my art is not good enough, even though I know it is, and it's great and people love it for its own thing. It's like people are allowed to enjoy art in a lot of different forms. They don't need to have some kind of deep rooted thing related to it. They are just allowed to enjoy because they relate to it, or they think it's cool, or they want to hang it up on their wall or something like that. Like it doesn't need to be anything massive, but it's still hard sometimes to find inspiration to do the things you want to do without feeling intimidated by it. And that's why I can't actually look at other low poly artists. Like that's the thing, I have no idea if there's any, I mean obviously I imagine there is obviously, but I have no idea of any other people that do the things that I do. And whenever I see someone who does anything remotely similar to me, I don't look at it because I know for my love and my relationship with my art, I can't look at others. I can't, because it just kills any sort of relationship that I have with my art, which I really, really want to savor and I really want to protect, because I've let my relationship with my art slide too many times, and it made me get rid of it altogether because I've just grown to hate it, because I look at my art from a different perspective, and I don't want to ruin the perspective that I have on my art. Like, I really want to protect that child energy and the childish perspective that I have on my art, that it's like I just approach it because it's fun and I experiment because I'm curious and that type of thing. Like, I want to savor that so bad. And that's also another thing that's a bit hard, is particularly when you start going into like an artistic creative career where you can actually like make money from it, or you need to, or feel like you need to be a little bit more calculated with what you create, when you create, how you create it, when you share it, how you share it and stuff like that. When you calculate it more, it's hard to still stick with that childlike feeling, because that's the thing that really gets you excited, and it's the thing that, yeah, like keeps things going and keeps creativity so beautiful and so raw, and yeah, just like on a different level. And that's what I'm starting to realize, that it's like the more serious I get and the more calculated I get about my art, the more I fall out of love with it. And yeah, just trying to keep that relationship with my art has been hard. It's a lot easier now because I've been through a lot of art phases where I lost the relationship and the love that I had with my art, and I like had to really break it down. That it's like, okay, I found a new art style I like, really, really like. I don't want to let things get in the way of it again. And then I'll have to like analyze it, and now I've gotten to a point that I realize that it's like, okay, I can't approach it with a money mindset or like a result mindset. I need to focus on the process, which is also hard. Not all the time, but there are always blips. Like, naturally, like I think it's hard to be really, really ambitious and not be result focused, because obviously when you're ambitious you have something to strive for, you have like specific goals in mind, and when you try and reach those you naturally become quite calculated and you plan out your steps. It's like, I'm gonna do this, and this and this. And particularly when you're hungry as well, when you're so hungry for it, it's hard to let things happen as they happen and to take things slower and not rush everything and want to get there really, really quickly. And it's that sort of balance of things. And yeah, basically that, yeah, literally just it's mostly just the hardest thing about all of the points that I say is more or less the balance of it, more the balance of it and the like mind control of it. That it's like just kind of not try and cling on to everything so deeply in that sense. So that's been a bit difficult. Another thing as well, there is a work with art, there is a lot of debates and a lot of philosophy around what makes, not even what makes good art, but what makes art actually art. Because I feel like a fraud around my art, because the way I make my art is I take an image off of Pinterest of an animal, I split it in half so when it's mirrored it looks like a whole face, I trace it in geometric shapes and polygons, and then I color it in, and then I mirror it and I put a solid background on it, and then that's my piece created. And I feel like a fraud because I think that, like, I always think in my mind that it's like, oh, people are gonna like say that I'm cheating because I'm not actually making this from scratch. I'm not making this like from my mind. I'm not just putting these these polygons in there because I have such a creative mind and I know exactly where it needs to go. I'm tracing off of an image and that's cheating, type of thing. And I also feel like just like, oh, the minute people find out that I like trace images and stuff like that, they're like gonna take away like all of the like creative rights that I had to the art that I made, and that it's not actual art, and all that stuff. Like, it's also, yeah, it's hard for me to not feel like a lot of imposter syndrome around my art, that it's like I don't actually deserve to have this title, I don't deserve to be seen this way, I don't deserve any of it. It's hard to be able to just be like, yeah, you know? It's rough. But also another thing which I think scares me the most, and it's also why, like, when I mentioned that I have this like ulterior dream of being like a pop star or like being a performer on stage is my safety. Like, I am beyond mortified for my safety, and I think with becoming more known and known by name and known for what you do, obviously there's more, you'll get more recognized like in the streets, and also particularly being a young attractive woman, it scares me even more because I'm like, I even had this when I was younger, when I had a dream of being an actress. Like, it's just like I was so scared that it's like living with my parents, like it's just like I'm gonna put my parents in danger because someone's gonna follow me home or whatever. And it's like, now that I only live with my friend, like, it's like I'm gonna put my friend in danger. And then just like, and like, you know, my friend isn't always at home, so I'm like, okay, well, what if I'm alone and stuff like that, like, and all of this shit. Like, it's like feeling like I have to be consistently aware as I'm becoming more known, because I might overlook something that can really jeopardize my safety. And it's like the one aspect that I don't know if I could protect myself in there. And even if I could, I'd be fucking traumatized for life. That's for fucking sure. So I think that's also really scary, that it's like, how do you navigate around that, and how you navigate around being known in that sense. And I think that's what usually stopped me from like going like full out, is the fact that it's like my safety is out of my control. Well, in a sense, like, I am mortified for my safety, and I get really like paranoid when I post these videos as well, and whatever I share on the internet, they're just like, oh my god, did I include something in my video that would, like, I don't know, give away what street I live on, or will like show like what city I live in. And I get really, really paranoid about that stuff. Like, nothing paranoids me more than my safety, because I just want a peaceful life, man. I just want to live in peace and safely. So yeah, I don't really know. That's the one thing I was really curious about. I was always curious about. It's like, how do like big celebrities go out in public but also just like live in a house, like just casually? Like, how do you not get like paranoid as fuck for people like showing up to your house? How the fuck do people not show up to your house? I mean, they probably do. Anyway, to be fair, I don't really suffer from that as badly anymore. I think because, one, the art that I'm making is still very fresh, but also I think I have a different type of relationship with the art that I make now, where I'm like, I actually genuinely really like the art that I make. Like, yeah, sometimes I feel like, I don't know whether it's not as good as this person or whatever, but like, my art as my own art, I really enjoy. And I can look at my art and I'm like, this is a good piece of art. I can say that for sure. Whether it's the best, maybe not, but I enjoy it nonetheless. Like, I really enjoy it. So when people send like hate comments and stuff like that, it doesn't really bother me as much, but it is still hard. Like I was kind of saying about like real art and what art is good debate type of thing. When those sort of things arises and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm being a fucking fraud, that sometimes comes back a little bit with hate comments and stuff, but it doesn't really bother me that much. The only types of comments that do bother me is something about my safety, or maybe like comments about my character, because I think that's what bothers me the most. Is just like when I'm made out to be something that I'm not. You can make out my art whatever you want to make it out to be, but when it's like an attack on like my character and stuff, that's when it bothers me, because it's like, you're turning me into something I'm not, and I take that very personally. But it's also that kind of thing that it's like, I'm starting to learn more and more that it's just like, people will hate you for absolutely everything you do. They will hate you for anything you choose to be or to present, or they can hate on absolutely anything. And I think the most important thing about all of that, because you'll never get rid of it, but an important thing is to keep your mind at rest and realize how much of it is just a difference of opinion. That doesn't mean it's true, and also doesn't stop the fact that like, these people have no idea who you are, like, at the core. So it's just like, I don't really take it in that deeply anymore. Plus, I've learnt to not go on my phone as much, and that really helped, because when you're surrounded in an environment that fuels your anxiety and that sense of urgency, it really isn't good, and it makes it a lot easier for when those comments come in to really take it on very personally, because you're kind of just trapped in that world where it's like all eyes are on you, and you feel kind of like watched all the time, and everything, like, everyone is calculating everything you do and like picking apart every single thing that you do, because it's in a video form, and you know, it feels permanent. So it's natural to go into that state of anxiety, but yeah, I've learned that like with the way that I like go on social media, I'm a lot more intentional with it, and I only go on social media when I like need something or like I want to look for something specifically instead of just doom scrolling as much. So that's made it a lot easier for me to just kind of actually live in the world that I live in and the world that is mine, rather than the world that others create for me and the world that isn't really real. So yeah, that helped a lot. But yeah, the other aspects I'm still struggling with, because I also feel like going into this like completely alone. Like I have no other friends that are like very like artistic in that sense that I can like talk to or relate to or like work with or something like that. Yeah, it feels very, I don't know, just very like too in my hands, and feels like every decision I make is a little like too permanent. That's also another thing I'm trying to get out of my head from is yeah, nothing is as permanent as it feels. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been dealing with. I know a lot of you will be able to relate, so if you do, let me know, because I'd love to hear, and I'm pretty sure other people would. And if there's anything else as an aspiring artist you're also quite scared of, please also do let me know, because I'd love to talk to people about this. That's the thing, I haven't had an opportunity to talk to anyone about this, but it's also like, I think it'll be nice to kind of create a little, I don't know, a little space for people to just kind of vent, for all of us to not feel so alone. I think that summarizes what I wanted to say. I think when I talk about it, it makes it, and arrange my like thoughts around it, it makes it a little bit easier to not stress out about it. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah. I don't know how to end this video. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video.